Hello, everybody. Top of the morning to you. It is May 25th, 2025. And I realize that I have some messages from the 21st that I did not give. So I'm going to give them to you now. Apparently, there was a nefarious entity inquiring as to what the verdict was. That was on the 21st. On the 23rd, I believe it was, they were talking about some sort of indictment, which was a formal written accusation by a grand jury. So they have been indicted. They've committed a crime, and it's been found to be that way in court. So they were asking what the verdict was. Apparently, they have been indicted as having committed a crime. The curator and friends were saying that someone or something is supernatural. Now, they came after somebody who is a soprano, somebody of the higher dimensional realms, somebody who was here for a specific purpose and who has been going through lots of mini cycles of birth and death, because thousands of years ago, somebody got one over on them and martyred them and then trapped them into a low vibrational space. But they rose up and then presented every ounce of evidence, firsthand testimony as to what had been done to them and as to what they had seen done to others. So it's supernatural. They don't understand it. It's a force beyond scientific understanding. It's an order of existence beyond the visible, observable universe, relating to God or a demigod or a spirit. They messed with a daughter and a son of God, many of them. There's something about dominion, which is sovereignty or control the territory of a sovereign or a government. They stole territory from a sovereign being thousands of years ago. They got tricky with it and they wound up getting lucky. Now, sounded like somebody was talking about the Navy, okay? And some folks they love repeating the phrase, watch the waters, right? Well, I've come to know that the Leviathan is a beast of the waters. Also, there's a Bima sinkhole, which is called the falling star of Oman, which is said to house an aquatic demon. It's got turquoise water, like a neon water, and these ones apparently use that neon fluorescent water to cloak things. This Bima is the center of the synagogue where they read from the Torah and do their rituals. So back to where I was. So I've come to know the Leviathan and has endangered God's creatures. This is in the Google, by eating them, and God's creation with upheaval in the waters of chaos. It's said to be a dragon. Leviathan means to twist, to turn, to wind, or coil. Now, some, if not all, stars and suns were given a twist when the enemy tried to bury them in the muddy waters of chaos when they were martyred. Recently, in the past, many of you've been sacrificed so many damn times in the astral realms, it's not even funny. And your lives here in the 3D have been miserable because they keep messing with you in the astral before you even have a chance to stand up for yourself here in the physical. It all happens there first. And they kept you in a state of innocence. And, well, you have they can't pervert your spirit, your soul. Incorruptible is what you are. So regardless of what happens to you here in the 3D, your soul, your spirit is incorruptible. So this twist changed the composition of the suns and the stars. And when they rose back up on that mighty energy that they have embodied, that they are, as sons and daughters of the Most High. They embodied the essence of the sun. So when they rose back up, they were different than they were before. And they have new friends. that they have gained from their days of walking through the valley of the shadow of death. Over and over and over again, they spent a lot of time in this space. And you may have had problems with, hanging out at the bar or being with low vibrational people. This is walking through the valley of the shadow of death, where those who, they don't really appear to be alive because they're ingesting toxic substances and they're walking around as though they're living, but their spirit is really buried under all this nastiness. And it's not just that. These ones bury them under the magic of the karmic debt that they themselves carry. They push it off onto these people, and they've been getting away with it for centuries. They were bragging about it, that the stars and the suns have been fueling their illusions for centuries. It's been at least 6,000 years. So there's the Leviathan, that is the water serpent. And I personally was told that I had conquered Leviathan or overcame that attack. Many of you have. You had to in order to rise up out of this. Now, there is also Bema, which is a raised platform found in the synagogue where the Torah is read. It's an altar. It's a platform. Now, Bema is also a sinkhole called the Falling Star of Oman. It's in Arabic nation. It's a depression filled with turquoise water, and a monster apparently lives there, an aquatic demon. Legend has it that the sinkhole was created when an asteroid struck the flat, arid plain that separates the ocean from the craggy peaks of the mountains. It forced the ground to cave in on itself. It's filled with rich hues of spectral blue, iridescent neon water. Now, again, a while back, I saw a fluorescent blue water or liquid being poured onto a white rag, and the nefarious ones were speaking of camouflaging something, perhaps with this magical demon water. So take it as it resonates. Many of you have overcome the snares of this Leviathan and this water demon. And you are here now speaking and overcoming those ensnarements. So they've been indicted. These ones have been indicted. They really hate the woman. There's a woman here who is a daughter of God. And lots of sons too that belong to this body of Christ. They're really ticked off that this daughter is a sovereign being and apparently has control over the territory, and is giving the wealth to the people rather than hoarding it. Now, these nefarious ones are really ticked off about the economics. You know, they have been controlling it for a long time and living lives of luxury and touting themselves as an authority, running around in their three-piece suits, you know, calling themselves men as they allow sex trafficking of women and children and the degradation of the masculinity within them, within the men. So, you know, they can't have any challengers. So they wanted to flip the men into women, and they wanted to then prostitute the women and the children with nobody to protect them. This is their gig. This is what they do. And the game is over, it appears. I'll see you on the next one.